As a subscriber to the Cromford Report, I'm allowed to embed certain features on my website. This I've done. The cool thing for you is that now you can have a broad range of specific, timely, and customizable graphs with the further ability to save them as an image file for your use. This video is to show you what's available and some hints on how to work with the interactive options. First, I want to show you a backdoor way to get to peak training. On the home page, on the home screen, click the Listing Resource button just halfway down. That puts you on the one stop. From here, you click the Peak Training button on the bottom row of the quick links to get to the main Peak Training page. Here you see the Stats button, fourth button, second row, with a drop-down menu that links to 6 different interactive embedded graphs: active listing counts, new listings by list price, monthly average sales price, monthly average price per square foot, under contract, and sales per month. So let's quickly look at them one by one and see what we can do. In active listing counts, you can see along the bottom that it spans about the past 18 months. The 3 colors top to bottom represent HUD, REO, short sales, and normal. On the right side, you see the interactive options available: status, transaction type, dwelling type, county, price range, city, and zip, and they're all checked. Okay, so the trick is to uncheck all at the top of the parameter you want to change, as I'm doing now with dwelling type. Notice the screen goes blank until I make a selection. In this case, single-family residential, and the graph repopulates accordingly. Now I can continue drilling down and do the same thing with cities. Uncheck all and select the city I want, in this case Scottsdale. Note that putting the cursor over the graph will pop up the data for that point in time and transaction type. That's the process. So now let's look at the next interactive graph in our drop-down menu, New Listings by List Price. Here we see that the colored bars represent each of the past 3 years. Also, see on the right where our interactive options are limited to dwelling type, transaction type, and price range. Now, using the same process we did on the last graph, I first uncheck all, then check the dwelling type I want. In this case, let's look at condos. And then further, I can uncheck all on the price range and start adding back the ranges I would like to see. Notice how each selection changes the graph accordingly. Pretty cool. Now let's look at the monthly average sales price. This graph is looking back a couple of years at the trend line in average sales prices by month. By the way, below each graph is an explanation of the graph, just barely visible here. Once again, we can change the parameters to our liking. And remember, you have to deselect all before you select the specific option you want. And again, see how putting your cursor over the graph gives you a pop-up for the data at that point in time. Next, we have monthly average price per square foot. Same process, but notice how this gives you the 10-year view. Great to show today's market in the context of the past 10 years, where the bubble is very evident, as is today's recovering market. Next, we have the predictive trend of weekly average list price per square foot, based on listings going under contract. And then finally, sales per month over the last 7 years, again, broken down by transaction type. A really good way to graphically show how the distressed market ballooned in 2008 through 11, but is now rapidly shrinking. Now, for getting a snapshot image, a picture you may want to use elsewhere, there is a little right arrow icon in the lower middle screen that you can click. It does offer a PDF option, but my experience is that the graphs are too large and they get broken up across PDF pages. However, the image option works just fine. So that's it. May you have some fun with this, and the next time you need a quick graph to make a specific point to a client, you may just find exactly what you need here.